hoping you can all see me now. My name's Phil Teasdale and my business EMS. We're a training business, a digital training business. We do lots of coaching and consultancy, and as part of the NIAL consortium of businesses, we're also a startup support company as well. We're based in Middlesbrough, and excitingly, we're about to move into the UK's first digital executive education centre, which is currently, as we speak, being built. So it's really, really exciting, and we're hopeful that we'll be ready to show it to the world on the 1st of November. So that's really exciting. And a lot of what we do, in fact, the majority of what we do currently is working with businesses to expand, to grow, to develop, to look at lots of different things within their business and look at how that can go. And we've done that over the past 13 years. And it seems like those 13 years have gone in a blink of an eye. And actually, within that blink of an eye, I think over the last 6 months, with what's been going on in the world, that seems to have speeded up even at a pace as well from when we started. So what I wanted to talk to you about today is really a lot about how people have changed their businesses, how they've needed to change their business, particularly from a digital point of view, over the last 6 months, and that dreaded C word that I'm trying not to say all the time. But also I wanted to look at some of the ways that you may be able to maximize some sales within your business, particularly from an automated point of view and from a digital point of view. So my background is EMS is my business. And again, we started that 13 years ago, but it's only one of the businesses that I've been involved with and started up. My past background was in recruitment, and my current background is in recruitment because we also have a recruitment business based in London. So I understand where business owners, where people managing a team and running a team come from, because I'm doing that myself. And I realise how difficult it is, and I realise how doubly difficult it is during the past 6 months, particularly if teams are disparate, if they're working from home. As you can see, I'm in my home at the moment and working in different ways. And I think one of the things that we discovered running our business was we always had a digital solution for our business in terms of training, but that digital solution became much more to the fore when the pandemic hit, and we've learned quite a lot about reaching new customers and how to reach them and how to develop those relationships as well. And that's really what I want to talk to you about as well. Can we go on to the next slide, please, Paul? Brilliant. So I do feel, Paul said earlier, you feel like Chris Whitty, you know, when he does those things. Next slide, please. I'm a little bit like that today as well. So so that's EMS. We're a business development, training and coaching and consultancy company. Next slide, please. And we're going to talk about funneling a digital solution to growing your business. So why would you need a funnel? Why would you need a digital solution for your business? Well, lots of people want to change their business model and want to get the most out of the changes that they've made to their business model as well. And that's really what we're talking about. So I have a little film that I want to show you that perfectly describes what we're trying to do with businesses. Roll VT, Paul. Thank you. So, why did I show you that? Why did I show you that film? To me, that film perfectly illustrates what's happening and what's happening in the business community currently as a result of the COVID pandemic. So, we've always done things in a particular way. So, in this analogy, that would be taking the escalator. And in order for us to reach new businesses and new customers and new ways of working, we have to change that same solution, the thing that we've delivered before, and make it applicable to this new world that we're living in, which would be the piano stairs in this analogy. And we have to change it in a way that people want to use that solution as opposed to go back to the old way. I saw a quote, I think just yesterday or Monday actually, which said, stop talking about this new way of life in terms of we're going to go back to the old way of life. The reality is we're so far down in this pandemic now, and it's been going on for so long, that we are probably not going to go back to the way things were in the same way of working and the same way of reaching customers. At best, there is going to be a combination of the two ways of working, so the old ways and the new ways. And it's really time for us to embrace these new ways as the way, as it were. And that's where we're at from a digital funnel point of view. So could I have the next slide, please, Paul? Brilliant, thank you. So this is a digital funnel, basically. This is a sales funnel that I wanted to describe to you and tell you why a sales funnel is important, and from a digital point of view and digitizing your business, why it's important as well. So the sales funnel, I often think of it, and I've used this analogy before, but it's so true. If you've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, this is what I think of the sales funnel is like. Not the rubbish Johnny Depp one, the one with Gene Wilder, you know, with the good songs and all of that sort of stuff. And do you remember when Violet Beauregard gets the chewing gum? And before he gets the chewing gum, they go to the invention room, and there's this big long thing that goes along the invention room, and he gets on a bike and he pedals furiously, and he puts some things in, an old boot and some tastes and stuff, and then he pedals a bit more. The machine takes it along, and at the end of the machine comes out a piece of chewing gum, a really thin, small piece of chewing gum. That's really the best analogy I can use for the sales funnel for you. So what we're talking about is lots going in at the end, as you would expect with a wide open funnel. It gets measured down, people drop off, people move out, people are not the right sort of customers. And in the end, what drops out of the end, which is the target here, is a customer. And what's happening, and what you will notice, is the way that we speak to our customers and the way that we need to speak to our customers, particularly in a digital format, has changed immensely, because we aren't able to have the same sort of face-to-face conversations that we're having with people. Anybody that you know that's been to a networking event, and probably here from a Tees Valley Business Summit point of view as well, whenever you've met somebody, you'll notice that it's much easier to have a conversation if you can see their face. So when I disappeared off your screen at the beginning when we were having technical issues, you know, as much as I could talk to you, it's much easier to build a relationship if you can see somebody's lips moving, if you can see somebody's expression, somebody's face. And that's really where a sales funnel comes in, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to establish that relationship in a quick way on an automated basis, so that you don't have to be that person that's having that conversation all of the time. So when we look at the funnel, the magnet, if you like, is how we attract as many people into that sales funnel as possible. How do we get as many people as possible? Now, that solution for some businesses might be to use social media. It might be to use some adverts on Google. It might be to use some recruitment telephonically. It doesn't actually matter how you are getting those people initially into the sales funnel. What matters is that you get them in there. And by getting them in there, what I mean is by numbers. We know at this point, and please be clear on this, that not all of those people that you get into the funnel will be your customers. But they're showing enough interest that they've shown some interest in what you're doing. Some might disappear and become your customers in time. But at this point, it's a numbers game. So we're trying to get as many numbers into the funnel as possible to attract as many people, which is the first part of the funnel, attraction. So how do we attract and make people aware of what you're doing? So we could do that through adverts, we could do that through conversations, we could do that, for example, for me turning up and talking to you. This is an awareness raising session for me. You're learning more about me and about EMS as well. So how do we attract people in? And once we attract them, how do we get their interest? So how do we show them what they need? How do we get them to trust you? So the digitization of this whole funnel is how we then talk to people, how we attract them, we interest them, and we keep them, and we move them on to a decision. The easiest way to get a decision, particularly a buying decision from a new sort of customer, is to use previous customers. So lots of people at this point within a sales funnel would use previous customers to tell of their brilliant experience. So you might use a video testimonial, or you might use a written testimonial. You might send this out in terms of as a newsletter. You could do all sorts of ways, but using prior customers, because remember, people buy from people, and if they have a relative trust, then they'll move through. Years ago, particularly when I first started as a business advisor, I would see so many people and we would say, how are you going to get your customers? And the first thing they would say is, I don't need to advertise. I don't need to find new people. I get everybody through word of mouth. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. And that hasn't changed. That happens for a lot of people now. But actually, as a customer yourself, you'll know if somebody tells you or recommends something is good, you're much more likely to make that decision to use it yourself. And that doesn't change on the sales funnel either. And then finally, there's the action point. What do we want them to do? Do we want them to buy something? Do we want them to ring you? Do we want them to book an appointment with you? What do we want them to do? And that's what the sales funnel is all about. It's about taking a lot of people at the top and moving them along this funnel, losing some of them along the way, which you have to do. You'll know yourself from anything that you've done in your business. You don't convert everybody to be a customer. Hopefully you convert the right sort of numbers, but the ultimate goal is to get somebody out at the end that undertakes the action that you want them to do. So, for example, that action might be to buy something, to meet with you, for you to then present something to them, or, you know, in the case of somebody that's producing a product or a service, for them to buy that product at the end as well. And that ultimately is the sales funnel. Now, when we talk about digitizing or giving you a digital solution, I have a little film of one sales funnel, and this is only one. There's lots of sales funnels that we can show you, but this is one that I know that works really, really well. And I produced this video for our Facebook group, In Cahoots with Phil, and I'll tell you a bit more about that at the end. So when it says welcome to In Cahoots with Phil, I'm sorry, we did it for that purpose. But I thought it was a good video to show you in terms of a workable sales funnel that you could, and a digital workable sales funnel that you could put into your business straight away. Okay, once again, Paul, roll VT. Welcome to In Cahoots. Product pyramid. That's a word to get out, let me tell you. So I'm never going to call it that again. The 3-tier product pyramid. Okay, so this is something that is based around a sales technique to try and identify how to increase your sales within your business with the existing products or services that you offer. And we're going to break down our products and services into these 3 tiers. So, tier 1 is, what can you give away for free? What is it? What is a low-cost thing that you can give to your customer or potential sale to encourage them to use your service? You're on the internet currently, you're watching this video. Let's take an internet sales course, for example. So what is it that you can give away? Well, in this instance, I'm giving away a 5-minute free training session. That's lovely for you to watch, but let me tell you, I'm using that as a hook so that you can see my training style, so that you may in the future book onto one of my training courses. And that's what a tier 1 product is. Something that doesn't cost you very much money, doesn't cost you very much time, is the hook, if you like, is the thing to bring somebody to your business, to open a potential sales opportunity. That's tier 1, very, very low cost, okay? Have a look at your current products and services.
What do you have currently that you either offer or that you can adapt and use as a tier 1 free product to entice people to use your business? Tier 2 is our mid-price product. Now, oftentimes I think of the mid-price product as being the product or service that we sell the most of. What is it within your business that you sell the most of that is a mid-price? That is the thing that you get excited about selling, but you're not so excited because it hasn't made all the difference. What's the mid-priced product within your business? So, for example, within my training business, the mid-priced product might be a training session to 25 or 30 business owners all at once. So it's not online, it's face-to-face, and having 25 or 30 business owners in the room with me. That's my mid-price product. Now, I know that's essentially my bread and butter product. That's the product that I sell the most of, that I can identify a sales process from, and that I can sell every single day. So when I'm looking to exploit my products or services, that's my go-to product, basically. So remember, tier 1 is free. So it's not bringing you any income, really. It should bring you a sales funnel to move them into tier 2. That's the mid-priced sales funnel. Okay. Tier 3, that's my favorite. So that's the thing that you want to do the most of. That's the product or the service that you want to sell the most of. Now, it may be that that is 6 or 9 months away, or maybe even 5 months away. You might have that product in your back pocket currently, or you might not. So, for example, again, I'm going to use my own business as an example because I think it illustrates things properly. So, free, we're giving away this training video. Mid-price might be a place on one of my open courses with 25 to 30 other business owners. And tier 3, the most expensive thing that I offer within my business is one-to-one face-to-face support. So something that's bought in that has a higher value that eventually I will sell more of. What do I do to get to that point? Well, I oftentimes find the customers through tier 1, the free stuff that we give away. We then deliver the tier 2, the mid-price thing, so they can see our goals and what we can achieve from a training point of view. Moving into tier 3, where people want to invest more money and more time into their own self-development on a one-to-one basis. So that gives you an example in our business how tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 works with the pyramid. Now I want you to put that and think about that within your own business. What are the tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 products and services that you can sell within your business? Sit down, use the downloaded handout and work out exactly what it is. Remember, we're going to concentrate on tier 2 products all of the time because that's your bread and butter, that's where the money comes from, but we're going to have a plan to tier 3 and move that on and move it forwards. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. This has been an exciting one for me. Please sit down and apply it to your business and I'm sure you will increase your sales. Thanks for joining us at our In Cahoots training session today.
Everyone. Sorry, I'm still going on the video. I'm hoping you... Yeah, we stopped it now. Okay, fantastic. So basically what that was the way that you can find your sales funnel within your existing products or services within your business and start to promote that. Now, you may be promoting that already and you may be promoting that through social media. And if you're not, one of the things that you can use on a free basis is social media in terms of your profile itself. So I think we can see there I've just used 4 examples of profiles that you'll be able to optimize. And optimizing them is really, really important because actually these are your sales tools. People need to know what they are for. So Facebook is your business sales tool. So we're talking about your business Facebook rather than your personal Facebook. And you should talk on your business Facebook about what you're trying to sell and what you're trying to do. Remember, people buy from people. So it's conversational and you're trying to attract people through. LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is my personal favorite of all of the social media functions that you can use. Honestly, I get I didn't used to get for about 3 years, even though I enjoyed using it. I never used to get customers from it. I've since changed and optimized my profile and used LinkedIn every single day. And currently, for my own business, we're getting probably about 17% of our business now directly through LinkedIn. And guess what? We don't pay for that. It's completely free. But your LinkedIn profile, unless you're looking for a job, should be reflective of what you're doing and effectively telling people what you're doing rather than looking for a job. But it's not a CV place. It's only a CV. LinkedIn only wants your CV if you're looking for a job or new employment. If you're not, if you're using it for business, particularly B2B sales, then that needs to be reflective in your profile, because it's not about how many people like, share, or comment on your posts. It's about how many people move from your post to your profile, and then from your profile directly into your messages to say, actually, I'd like to work with you. And that really is a digital solution. Twitter, likewise. Your tweets should be reflective of what you're trying to achieve in your business. It should be an authentic voice that you're using as well. And please step away from difficult opinions, because nobody really wants to hear those. And then finally, Instagram. Instagram is a wonderful tool because it's a visual tool to show exactly what it is that you're doing throughout your business. But again, your profile is so important during and using Instagram that people refer to it and can get from there into your business. Okay, could we have the next slide, please? Okay, so that's where we are in terms of funneling a digital solution to growing the business. I did want to tell you some more things. We do a lot of this stuff and we deliver a lot of this work. But for me, it's not about the delivery of the work, although I love to do it. It's about the difference that we make in people's businesses. So it's great to come to our workshops. It's great to read my book. There's my book, In Cahoots. I'm really proud of it. It's brand new. You can order it now on our website and on Amazon. I'm really excited about that. And that's wonderful and that's great. And I can promote all of that stuff. And I do love that. Don't get me wrong. But actually, what is really important to me is the difference that we make in people's businesses. And I would say if anybody watched this and thought, actually, I need to implement a sales funnel into my business, you don't necessarily have to come and see me to learn how to do that, although we would love you to. We do a workshop on it. But you can find information on it on the internet as well. And there are solutions to digitizing a funnel as well on the internet for quite low cost, which will absolutely revolutionize your business. As a process, particularly now in the way that we're living, it is really important that you think about the footprint that you're giving out there. So I'm going to give you all one little bit of homework and one task. And the question I'm going to ask you is, when was the last time you Googled yourself or your business? And if it was today, great, that's perfect. If it was yesterday, then you need to do it again. So I would like, as your homework, after you finish this session, you to just go on to Google and Google both your name and your profile on your business to see actually what comes up first, because it might be surprising to you, the thing that people see. And people only ever care really about the first page. So those first things that come up about you are very, very important. It's a really good way of you looking at what your digital footprint is. Next slide, please. So yeah, there's my book. You can buy it in Cahoots. It's great. But we also have lots of free help and support available to all of you as well. And we would love you to be part of that. So we are very lucky. We have funding from TVCA and lots of places ourselves. We actually match some of the TVCA funding through our partnership with NEAL as well, and have an ERDF program. So if you're new to business, if you would like some help, we can help you, and it doesn't cost you anything at this point. Or if you're new to business and you started within the last 2 years, again, we would like to talk to you, and that solution is free. But more than that, if you've been in business for 30 years, 50 years, 2 years, or 1 year, doesn't really matter to us. We have an amazing group on Facebook. Can we just flick on to the next slide, please? And our Facebook group is called In Cahoots with Phil. We do lots of these training sessions. It's all free. There's over 2,000 business owners, many of them in the Tees Valley and around the world. And the best thing about the group is that everybody supports each other. It's not a place where people just go on and advertise something and expect others to buy it. They help each other. They support each other. This is not me. I facilitate it. And there's a lot of business to business work that gets passed. There's lots of solutions that are given for problems in businesses. It's a fantastic free resource that we would like to, as many people across the world, to be involved in. But, as it stands at the moment, there's probably about 1,500 business owners from the Tees Valley in there as well. So it's a really good way to get to know people, to get to chat to them. It's not just open to business owners. If you're involved in a business as well, if you're part of a team from a business, again, we would love to have you in there as well. So it's a Facebook group. It's called In Cahoots with Phil, and we would love to have you. You'll see lots of those little training videos that we've uploaded as well. It's not a place where we sell to you constantly. It's a place really where you can build a relationship and a business relationship with lots of different people as well. And could we have the next slide, please, Paul? Okay, and that's my business. So EMS, as I said, I've got a number of businesses, but EMS really is my is my passion. It's my my baby, and I absolutely know that we make a difference to people all over the world. One of the things that I didn't tell you is we are a Babson Fellow. We're the only UK Babson Fellow, and that means Babson is the world's entrepreneurial #1 rated university, and has been for the last 33 years. We're the only UK partner of that, and they are coming to help us with our Digital Executive Education Centre as well. And it's in Middlesbrough, part of the Tees Valley, which is really important to me. I live in Middlesbrough. I'm from Middlesbrough. I promote the Tees Valley as much as possible, and I've been around the world doing it. In February, we took 16 businesses as part of our Inspiration USA program from Teesside Airport. We flew from Teesside Airport, which was fantastic. Tees Valley businesses over to Boston, over to Babson, and they got to meet lots of different businesses from the US as well. It's been fantastic. All of those businesses through the pandemic have come out of the other side. We've had no business losses. All of them have either increased their sales or increased their staff turnover as well, and staff profile. They've increased their staff headcount, I should say, sorry. So it's fantastic. And you get to meet a lot of the fellows from around the world in the In Cahoots with Phil group as well. Ask the expert with them, and it's just lots of different ideas. So we would love to have you with us. Okay, so I can see my session is about to end soon, and I just wondered if there's any questions or things that you would like to ask me, or any discussion things that you wanted information on, and I can give you that before we finish. I don't know if you can see anything, Paul.
I'm looking through. There's no questions in here at the minute, Phil.
Okay.
But obviously, if people do want to chat with you, they can connect with you on the meeting hub that we've got here. So there's definitely chances to meet up. Oh, a question's just popped up. So I'll just read it out to you if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
It says, "Hi, Phil. Sorry, this is from Michael Shuker. He says, "Hi, Phil. You talked about LinkedIn and the importance of optimizing your LinkedIn profile and making content relevant to what you do. A mixture of video and written content is usual, but do you find that one is more successful than the other in your experience?"
Yeah. Hi, Michael. In my experience, yes, written content is much more is actually much more successful than video content. Now, don't get me wrong, I produce video content and I try and produce a mix, or some visual content in terms of pictures and video content as well, because I think people just don't want written content all of the time. But my experience, it shows me that written content is the thing that spreads out more. The other thing that I've been finding, and we have a LinkedIn group that try lots of different things to try and get us the best solution, basically, as part of the In Cahoots group. And we've worked out that 6 hashtags on every post is the optimum number for people to see those posts as well. So if you want a native spread, then 6 hashtags seem to be the key to that as well. And consistent posting, that's the other thing. Very much posting every single day, and a mix of personal and professional advice and sales. I think if you're just on there trying to sell, that won't work at all. You're trying to build a relationship, much like we talked about with the sales funnel. It's all about relationships. People buy from people. You wouldn't go into the networking section here and start saying, buy my stuff. You would try and build a relationship with people. And that's exactly what we're finding on LinkedIn as well. But video content is really important because, you know, it's a really good way to build a relationship, but it doesn't get the quite the same reach as written content. And when I'm talking about written content, I'm talking about it without any pictures on there as well. So just plain written content. A mix of all content is best, but you'll notice bigger reach on written content.